Okay, here is the new project. It is a 1982 diesel Westfalia. What the diesel means for California at least is I never have to smog it, so having a motor swap in these shells is definitely ideal. As you can see, the outside is pretty rough. The paint was very faded and overall just not very good looking. The inside was basically the same. Everything was there, but it was just kind of torn apart as it was been stored for 10 years. I got it and I just had the intention of fixing it up as I do the other ones. The reason this one stood out to me was because it has this motor, which is a 1.8 GTI motor out of a 1985 with mechanical fuel injection and just like 20 horsepower over stock. The first thing I wanted to jump into was the canvas. The canvas was completely ripped out, as you can see here, and the other side had a big tear in it and had this weird mold stuff growing on it that I just did not want in there. So went ahead and tore that out first thing, and luckily it did come with a new canvas from the guy I bought it from, so that made it pretty easy. All that's holding it in is these screws on the bottom on this rail, and then the 1983 and below years have staples in them, and then the 1983 and up have screws. So I have these staples on a tack strip, just got to go ahead and take those out and then take out the screws on the bottom and it'll come out. So let's get to that. Alright, as you can see here, the canvas was completely removed from the staples on the roof and all along the top wood, and then the bottom rails that were held in by the screws were completely removed. And here is the old tack strip with the staples still in it. I figured it would be easiest just to hammer them back in rather than take them all out and re-staple it. So now it's just time to put the new canvas on. But before I did that, I wanted to go ahead and take off the pop top and do it on the ground, just because I figured it'd be a little easier than being overhead the whole time. Now that the pop top was off, I went ahead and cleaned it up. It had some mold and like a dust film on it, so I went ahead and just sprayed all that off, as you can see here, and it ended up cleaning up pretty good. So now it was time to put on the new canvas, which basically I just laid there and then stapled it all the way across. Pretty repetitive, so I went ahead and just skipped to when it was inside the van. Now the canvas really didn't fit well at all. It is an old canvas, it came with the van, so I don't know what the story is behind it. But anyway, I made it work and it fit tight, so that's all I really cared about. I definitely like the zipper screens on all the sides and the front, and it looked pretty good while it was from the outside of the van. And you can see here it looked pretty tight and not loose like some do turn out. Now, as you can see on the top of this, you can actually see the staple strip. It's supposed to be folded over, but if I did it that way, it would have never fit in the first place. So I had to do it like that. But yeah, the zip down screens, as you can see, are really awesome and bring a lot of airflow in, and I enjoyed it. I figured I would go ahead and add this in. I peeled off the veneer on the inside. You can see it was rippling up, and it's very common on these vans, especially with how sunbaked they get after sitting outside. So I went ahead and peeled them all off and replaced them with just a generic vinyl film from Home Depot. The adhesive on the back doesn't stick too well, so I would recommend getting like a 3M spray adhesive and spraying it on both sides and then applying it, because the heat will just make it peel off again. But anyway, I'll go ahead and skip to that. that's basically it for the wallpaper. So that was pretty simple. You just peel off the old veneer. It can be pretty tough if it's not fully deteriorated, but it does come off, and just slapping on the new wallpaper is pretty easy and looks pretty good. I also did it on the pop top bed because that was peeling off, and when it's folded down it looks a lot better, looking like wood. So that was it for this video, just the pop top and the wallpaper. Hope you guys enjoyed, and thank you for watching.